Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from a throwaway account from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit asking, does come with an update as well, am I the arsehole for objecting to Girls' Day? I'm a 28-year-old man. My immediate family is all women. Mostly this is because I was raised by my mother and have no contact with my father's side of the family due to a messy divorce when I was young. My two sisters, early 30s, my three aunts, two who are my mother's sisters and one married into the family and married my aunt, and they have an assortment of close friends of the family, all of which are women that also go to these events. About 3 years ago, my mother had an idea to do a girls-only weekend. Originally, this was to see one of the Magic Mike movies, and because it was such a hit, they started doing these weekend outings once or twice a month. Originally, it didn't bother me because I'm an adult and I have my own life and my own house, and I really didn't even think about it. But an incident recently made me annoyed at the whole concept. My aunt's birthday was in January, and normally we'd go to a favorite restaurant for her birthday, which also incidentally is my favorite restaurant. I bought her a present and a card and waited for an invitation, and none came. When I asked what was going on for her birthday, I was told they celebrated it early on their Girls' Day because she was going to be out of state during her birthday. This kind of irked me because when I mentioned I bought her a present, my mother told me to just drive over to her house and give it to her. I felt pretty left out since I'm the only male in my immediate family. Having a Girls' Day is the equivalent to saying, hey, let's celebrate my birthday but not invite him. I griped about it and was told that I was basically being self-centered and that she can celebrate her birthday however she wants. I agree with that, but once again, I'm the only one being left out and it feels shitty. The proverbial straw that broke the camel's back was I was just informed that they were planning a summer vacation this year as a girls only too. And when I asked my mother what about the vacation we normally take as a family, she told me they can't afford to do both, so they are just doing the girls only vacation this year. At this point, I was very annoyed and had a loud argument with my mother and sister, telling them that it's really shitty that twice a month they have group activities and specifically exclude me. And on top of that, are now even taking vacations and excluding me. Nothing came of the argument and they just wouldn't budge, so I decided I needed a break from my immediate family because they don't consider my feelings relevant. So I removed myself from the family group chat and deactivated my Facebook. Now my phone is being blown up and I'm being told that I'm immature and I need to grow up. I responded that a lot of grown people don't see much of their family at all. I'm just going to follow that example. Am I the arsehole here? Follow the spider, says not the arsehole. Maybe if you weren't the only male in the family I could see their position, but like you said, it feels like you're personally being excluded. The vacation really crosses the line. It makes me wonder about your relationship with them. Have you been close prior to all this and this Girls' Day thing just got out of control? Have there been conflicts before and they're handling it immaturely? Yelling at them won't change their minds, and to be honest, I'm not sure what will, but try to be calm and responsibly explain how they're making you feel and why logically there is no need to have a girls only vacation or birthday celebrations when that just means excluding you. I'm not totally against them doing their Girls' Day sometimes, but it doesn't seem like they are taking you into account at all. Hope he responds and says I'm very conflict free and low maintenance as a person in general. My mother and sisters always tell me that if I get any more laid back, I'll be laying down. This argument with them was actually extremely out of character. My sisters and mother, on the other hand, always have drama with each other, and despite their drama, they always seem to patch up and still do things together. I feel like the only person who isn't causing drama is me, and I'm also the only person not invited. I'm not sure if I explained correctly, but these events happen multiple times a month, and at this point, the only time I'm ever included in celebrations in events is holidays. Also in regards to if we are close, I feel like we're about as close as is normal. I wouldn't say I confide in my mothers or sisters greatly, mostly because they're kind of gossips and if you tell one, suddenly the whole family will be discussing your issues. I don't think I've done anything to cause issues, but I'll think about it and see if I can remember anything. Wednesday Atom says, not the arsehole, I was all hyped to tell you that sometimes women just want to do something that won't appeal to their male family members, like see a Magic Mike movie, and rather than insist every family get together be gender neutral, girls' nights are totally fair. But once or twice a month is excessive and leaving people out of their birthday celebrations is a little too far. Another user says, not the arsehole, I'd feel the exact same as you. It hurts even worse that you're the only male, it's not like they're excluding 3 to 4 other people, it's literally just you. I don't think that's what they're understanding. The once a month girls' nights are one thing, but not inviting you to a birthday party and excluding you from the vacation are way out of line. One more comment from Tal Shah, who says not the arsehole. This is all kinds of fucked up. One, if you're the only guy that normally gets invited to these events, it's kinda screwed up, as other users have mentioned, to effectively have everyone but OP events. 2, even if that was all they were doing, maybe it'd be okay, but they are now displacing everyone's included events with these exclusive OP's not invited events. They are not just having these events, they're shutting you out of things you were previously included on. Not cool. 3, I'm sorry to insult your family like this, but anyone who responds to a complaint of, I don't feel like my feelings are being valued, with you're being immature, suck it up, is a shit person. But they didn't only settle for saying that when you demanded an answer, and are instead apparently blowing your phone up over it is even worse. Because they're trying to shame you to lessen the shame that is rightfully theirs. Not only will they not try to see things your way, they're refusing to leave you to your peace until you admit that it is your fault. Sounds like you made the right move, OP. I'm sorry your family is being shitty. So, OP then updates the post and says this last month has been kinda wild for me, so I haven't had an opportunity to update this until now. So the descriptions of my family and my family situation in this thread were specific enough that one of my family members found out about it and confronted me. Due to the fact that I have deactivated my Facebook and was only receiving text messages, I didn't realize what was happening before I was ambushed by it. My sister, oldest, confronted me about it and asked if it was me who made the thread. I confirmed that it was. She insisted I was being shitty for airing the family's laundry like that. I responded that I in no way did that, as I was speaking very generally and never identified who my family was. This spread to my family, and now the thread was shared on Facebook and everyone was shown. I was invited to a family meeting. We never have those, where I was sat in front of a firing squad of angry women who told me that what I did was wrong and demanded an apology. They said that I knew they weren't excluding me, and because I gave everyone that impression, I owed them an apology. I replied that I absolutely did not know they were not excluding me, including samples of the things they did, such as the birthday dinner, going to an amusement park and going to a baseball game. Once again, they characterized this as girls only event of fun where boys just weren't allowed or welcome because they wanted to talk about things guys wouldn't be interested in. I replied that she needs to stop saying guys because there is only one guy who would have been invited, and that's me. So what she's really saying, it's a no OP event, not a girls only event. They explained that it wasn't excluding me because regardless of whether I was interested in the event, the conversation would have bored me because I'm not a girl. At this point we were going around in circles, so I just explained my perspective. I said I'm the only male in our immediate family, and the people in my immediate family get together on a regular basis, not a one-off or once in a while, and don't include me regardless of what they called it. I feel excluded. I explained that the breaking point was the family vacation, and that there was absolutely no reason to leave me out of the vacation I was always invited to, particularly when that's the only family vacation we do, and they stated they cannot afford a second one. At the end of this family meeting, I was never given an apology. No one tried to empathize with my perspective, and I was accused of many things that I didn't do by any reasonable interpretation. I told my mother and my sisters that we reached a breaking point in our relationship and I was going no contact for a while. I told them I'm an adult and I have my own life, and the reason I wanted to be involved was because I didn't want one of those family relationships where you only see family at holidays. If that's not what my family wants, then it's okay. But I told them that I was not going to be involved with people who made me feel shitty and intentionally leave me on the outside looking in of my own family. My mother's sisters told me that I was going to lie about them to everyone, that they don't care. At this point, my relationship with my family is over. I left that family meeting and have not reactivated Facebook, have not received any contact, and not initiated any contact. Hey Sarah. Now, what do you guys make of this situation? How would you have dealt with it if you was OP? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And our next story comes from justsixhours, who says, I, 34 male, want just a few free hours away from my wife, 33 female, and kids 5 and 7 males each week. My wife thinks this is unreasonable and that I'm a jerk for requesting it. So, I was always sort of an introvert before I was married. I had friends, but I always needed a few nights alone to unwind and do nothing but fuck around on the computer, watch TV, play video games, etc. I recently got promoted and I've been working 50 hours a week, which I know is not that much, but I have people in my face all day long. phone calls, questions, clients, and employees in and out of my office. I eat at my desk and I'm answering my phone between bites. I also have an hour commute each way, so I'm out of the house 11 hours a day. I get home around 7. My wife does not work, which I'm okay with. We have 2 boys, 5 and 7. One just finished pre-K, one just finished 2nd grade, so they were out of the house 6 to 7 hours a day. Now that it is summer, my wife put them into summer day camp program that runs from 9 to 5, so they are out of the house 8 hours a day. My wife supposedly uses this time they were in school and time they are now in summer camp to make next day lunches, hour dinners, and to clean the house / do laundry / run errands, etc. Okay, so here's the problem. My wife feels that when I get home at night and all weekend days are for family time. I love spending time with her and I love spending time with the kids, but she thinks that since they are at school during the day and I'm at work, that we need to spend every night and weekend together no matter what. I've suggested her or my parents watch them here and there so that we can have a date night and or relax by ourselves. But she gets really upset that we would pawn them off on other people and we spend 35 to 60 hours away from them each week already. I'm trying really not to feel resentful because I really do love them, but a typical night consists of me coming home from work, having dinner with a family, helping the kids with homework, helping my wife clean the kitchen, watching TV with the kids before bed, putting them to bed, setting up their stuff for the next morning, and then taking a shower and crashing. I have literally 0 time for myself. The weekends, my wife expects me to spend the entire 48 hours long doing family stuff, taking the kids to their grandparents' house, playing, going to the zoo, bringing them shopping, etc. I'm not against family time, but between having people in my face all day at work and then having to spend all night doting on my kids as soon as I get home, 24/7, 365, I'm feeling very burnt out. It's really hard for me to admit, and I hope I don't get blasted, but I'm starting to feel very resentful towards my wife because she is home without them for 7 to 8 hours a day, every day. I can't imagine that she is really spending all those hours every single day doing chores. She has to have at least some free time to herself throughout the week, right? I don't want to assume because I've never had to take care of a house and I can't pretend to know what it entails. But really, not even an hour a day of free time? A few weeks ago, I asked her if it was okay if 2 nights a week I spent a few hours by myself. I don't mean that I will go out to a bar or not come home or anything. I mean I will come home, eat dinner, do the dishes, and then maybe go into the basement to watch some TV, play video games, have a beer or 2, or just zone out. From like 8:30 PM to when I go to bed. I usually go to bed by 11. I also requested that we have either of our sets of parents, who are more than willing, watch the kids one weekend night every other week or so, which she flat out refused. Anyway, she started crying. She kept saying that she has no free time either, and I think that I deserve more free time than her just because I work and she doesn't. She feels I'm saying I need time away from my family because I don't want to be around them or something. It's not true. I like being around them, but sometimes I just need to be around nobody. I never get that anymore. I thought about just asking for 1 night a week, but we've tried that in the past when my kids were younger, which she hated back then too. And it didn't work out well because I would spend that 1 night a week, I guess, trying to savor it. Basically, I would end up staying up really late because I knew that once my 1 night was over, I wouldn't get another one for an entire week. And then I would end up being exhausted the next day, with a pissed off wife. If I have 2 nights to look forward to, then to me it becomes more of an, okay, tonight's over, but I'll have another one in just a few days sort of thing. I won't feel the need to stay up quite as late. She thinks this is unacceptable, that I need to be a parent just as much as she is. I don't think she should be solely responsible for them, but I feel like she isn't with them during the day. Why can't I not be with them for 2 to 3 hours twice a week? I'm asking for 6 hours a week of alone time, max. Not even an entire day. Am I really unreasonable? Does making the choice to become a father really mean giving up all of your alone time? Am I being a piece of shit for wanting to be away from them for a few hours? I'm trying to do my best, but I'm finding myself fantasizing about getting a divorce just so that we could have 50-50 custody and I wouldn't be forced to spend all of my free time with them. I know that's horrible and disgusting, and I know logically this isn't what I want, but I'm feeling like I'm being burnt to a crisp. And it says, as someone who is married for 30 years, widowed, please take this to heart. You absolutely have the right to some kind of equilibrium that works for both of you. What that means for you is that you get to have what my wife used to call time to decompress at the end of the day. You get to define what that is. It's an hour of playing with your electric trains in the basement, so be it. You work hard, you help with the kids, and you're a good person. This has nothing to do with what your wife does during the day. She works hard too. She has the right to ask for what she wants, but she doesn't get to ask for all of your time. So you are allowed to tell her that you need some me time each week and you're open to negotiate how that is structured. Resonator says you're not unreasonable. You need to reapproach this. Tell her you two need time to yourself. Ask her how she feels about her taking one weeknight off a week while you watch the kids, and you'll take a different weeknight off while she watches the kids. Tell you that you are both busy and need time off to recharge. Then tell her that you two also need your couple time to stay connected as husband and wife. Throughout all of this, tell her you love her and your family, but people need time to recharge. You can compare it to a rechargeable battery that needs to be recharged so it can do what it needs to do instead of running out of power. If she's not willing to listen to this, then she's being completely unreasonable. You may want to talk with her parents about this and see if they can help you talk with her about it. People need their me time. Ugh says, if I had to take a wild guess, I don't think that it's really that your wife wants free time of her own. As you said, it's likely she has at least some of that. I think it's that your wife is lonely and misses you, and is kind of panicked at the idea getting even less time with you. If she's feeling like she's kind of holding on by a thread emotionally already, I'm not going to make any suggestions or pronouncements on how to fix that if that is the case. I just think you should ask her if it has anything to do with it. And one more user says a very important point here is that a lot of people seem to overlook is that even if your wife spends 8 hours a day working around the house, she gets to do this alone and in peace. During those hours, she is essentially already decompressing. Yes, she is doing some work, but that work isn't mentally taxing at all. It is physically taxing, which is very healthy to begin with. You work all day, have the stress of dealing with people at work, have to commute for an hour, which can also be stressful. Then you come home and instead of being able to let your mind wind down, you are forced to spend time with your kids and wife, interacting with them. This is very unhealthy. Your wife already has time to recuperate mentally during the day. You don't, so you need to make up for that somehow. If you don't give your mind a break, it's going to take a very big toll on your body. Your sleep will be less refreshing, you'll have problems falling asleep easily, it'll be harder to get out of bed, you'll be cranky often because of sleep deprivation. You'll be lucky to keep this up a few more years without getting a serious mental disorder. OP then edited the post and says, wow, I will try to reply to some of you when I get home. I just want to say thank you and that I agree a 10 o'clock bedtime is too late, but my wife lets him do it during the summer because he begs to stay up playing. During the school year, he goes to bed at 8 to 9, depending on how many times he needs a drink of water. And I spend about an hour getting ready for the next day and hanging with the wife. Also, no, we don't live on a farm or have livestock, just regular 3-bedroom house. The image of my wife secretly tending chickens all day is making me crack up right now though, so thank you. Then OP gives a full update and says, truly, thank you all for your replies to my original post. I just want to clarify that my 7-year-old's bedtime is only at 10 at the latest, in the summer when he is off. Although I agree that he is not really off when he is going to day camp at 9 AM. My wife feels like it's not worth fighting him to go to bed earlier when it is his break. Anyway, after seeing all your replies to my last post and realizing I wasn't getting crucified for wanting some time away from the kids, I decided to bring it up with my wife again. I told her I'd really like to take her out that last weekend, and if we could please let the kids spend some time with my parents. She kept questioning me non-stop. Why do I need to be away from the kids? Why do I think it's okay to drop them off to my parents? Why don't I want to take responsibility for them on the weekends lately? I believe she was referring to the last time I brought up weekend date nights because I'm with them every weekend. I told her I love the kids to death, but that I can't just be a worker and a father 100% of the time. I explained to her that I need just some time, not a lot but some, to just be me and nothing else. She called me a selfish arsehole and that if I wanted to spend so much time away from my family, I might as well get out of her face and away from the house. This was Friday night. Saturday morning I woke up and tried to talk to her again. I told her that I just wanted to spend some time with her away from the kids. I feel like I was still a person in a relationship with someone I loved and not just a father. She started getting emotional and angry again, same as the night before. And it was at this point I snapped. I told her that I was going to spend time away from the kids that night. She could either join me and let my parents babysit like they want to, or I would go alone. Not my best moment. Long story short, I went alone. but quickly realised I had no idea what to do with myself on a Saturday afternoon. I haven't seen my friends in forever. They're all married, and my wife clearly doesn't love me spending time out of the house seeing them. The only friend I have that is single is a bartender at a pub about 20 minutes away from my house. So I went there. I literally only had 2 beers. The bar was pretty empty since it was fairly early afternoon, and I got bored pretty quickly and decided to leave and go back to my family. My wife, though, was not impressed. Now she was accusing me of choosing to go drinking at a bar over my family. I have no idea how to get through to her that all I want is 1 to 2 days a month to spend on a date night and 1 to 2 nights a week to play video games for an hour or 2 so I don't go crazy. I can't take the constant 24/7 stimulation without a mental break to myself to zone out anymore. I can't take not having time alone with just me and my wife. I just want to run away. I never would, but oh my god, I want to. After Saturday, I just let things go back to normal. My wife has been pretty icy with me, but nothing else has really happened since. And that was OP's last post, so unfortunately it was pretty inconclusive on that one. But at the same time, I would still love to know your thoughts on this situation. Do you think OP's request was reasonable or not? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Yeah, man, I remember being so naive when life was good, weather and palm trees. Back in the day, you were everything I need. But then along came a time when you crushed my dreams. Oh yeah, you played me like a fool when you made me believe that the line between love wasn't thick enough to read. Oh yeah, you see we in the spare crime everywhere. You're selling false hope cause you just don't care. Nah, you just don't care. Nah, you just